Hey everyone, this is your girl Yavo. I'm here back with a review for Raising Kanan Season 5, Episode 2. So, at the start of the episode, we see Unique pulling up to a really pretty cottage house in the woods, and out comes his beautiful, mother, not mother, girlfriend, baby mother, and that's where he has them. We see that's where they're hiding out at because of the abduction that they experience from Rock and Lou trying to plant. They kidnapped them, so he has them hiding out in the woods to keep them safe. And uh, she's just so happy, excited to see Unique, his baby mother, and they're just chatting, and he's looking outside at the sun. They're chatting inside, and the sun just looks very peaceful in the backyard, and enjoying the scenery. And she's telling Unique, his girlfriend's telling Unique like, oh, he likes it out here, and this is the first time he like got a peaceful night's rest, and he's just like, oh, their son doesn't want to have anything to do with him. He's not really talking to me. I think this is the first time Unique is seeing how his lifestyle is affecting him. I think he was only thinking about himself and what he want to do and how things affect him, and he's starting to see how his actions is like emotionally affecting his family that he's created. And he's, you know, letting his baby mom know, like, oh, I'm going to get things set back up. Because in the last episode, he's talking with Breeze about, how they're going to plan to work together. And so his baby mom's looking at him like, like, dude, you still on that? Like, I don't want to go back to the city. I don't want to go back to New York. It's not safe. We literally just got kidnapped. Like, why are you still on this? And he's just like frustrated with her. He's like, it's like you don't even know me. I'm of the streets. I'm a street dude. This is what I do. What else am I going to be? Just having that real limited, low vibration mentality when Unique is like extremely brilliant and can do whatever he put his mind to. And that's what his baby mother tells him, like, you can be whatever you want to be. And like, if you didn't grow up in this environment, you can literally be doing anything. Like, the sky's the limit, basically. And he's just like, oh no, South Jamaica is me, and I was born there, I'm a die there. Just nigga shit. Like, unfortunately. And she's just looking at him like, this dude is he's a lost cause. So that's just the ignorance of the show, unfortunately. But that's also the brilliance of the show, of showing just that mentality. um Unfortunately, people growing up in a certain environment and very limited beliefs and circumstances, and having this assumption and roof on what they can evolve and be, and how they view success. So just that's another testament to the great writing on this show. And so the next thing, we move on to Russo at his house. Him and his wife just been cooped up in the house, and he's finally getting ready to go out. And his wife is just like, very nervous. Nerves are shot. She's like, we've been up in the house because Russo's hiding out because he stabbed Stefano, Mr. AKA Tony Danza, for those old enough to remember when Stefano used to be Tony Danza. That's people of a certain age. But um so he's kind of hiding out because he know that's a no-go, and he know that there's going to be consequences for it, but he's basically trying to prolong it. And so he kind of snaps at his wife, because she's scared, and he instantly apologizes. It's just they're stressed, but he put them in that scenario, and but apologizes. They get all lovey-dovey, and he says, I gotta go handle some business, I'll be right back. And so he goes out. Basically, his guardman and driver takes him. He has to go meet with like the mafia folks to kind of supposedly show his face because he doesn't really want to go. He's like, and his guardman, his driver's like, "Oh, you gotta go, show your face, let them know you still running things." And he's just like, "Okay, I guess so." Like, who else is running things? Like, if you like, why is this necessary for me to do? And so his driver is just like, "Oh, like I've been up late all night. Can I go get a coffee, something to eat before we go?" So he's and Steph and Russo's like annoyed and like, "Oh, like why are you stopping? Like, dude, like we got to be on the watch out for Stefano and his people trying to get at us. We about to go to war, and you want some coffee." So that's where that scene leaves off. So it's hot for Russo out here on these streets, but rightfully so because he did that to himself when he stabbed Stefano. Like, I don't know how else he thought that this was going to go. So now we at the hospital. Stefano's still there and he's talking, and Rock came to see him, and like his like he always does, he blames her for everything. He takes no accountability. And she's basically, still trying to keep her working relationship with him, and he's just like, "Oh, like I'm here because of you, and I've never been in this scenario." And she's like, "Dude, you the one who stabbed Russo on your own. Like that don't got nothing to do with me." And he's just like, "Oh, well, you went to work with Sal," and basically trying to be like, "Oh, I felt like I had to do what I had to do," but that was his choice of that was his like all of these things was his choice. That's that man stuff, the Italian man stuff. That don't have nothing to really do with Rock. Like, I just think that because again, they see Rock as a woman, they think like she operate like they expecting some type of loyalty and qualities of Rock because she a woman, and it's like no, she has the qualities of a street hustler because that's what she does. It doesn't matter that she's a woman. And I think that's why people keep like they have this weird expectation of Rock, and Rock is acting like a street hustler. Like what else do you expect from her? It's just like crazy to me. Like I just feel like they be hating on Rock. Like even though I know she's crazy and she has her terrible ways, but I res- I feel like she's a woman who acts accordingly, and of her experience and what she does. And I think people have all these expectations on how her heart should be set up and her emotions, and they don't like the fact that, especially Stefano, he don't like that she backed down. She let him know, like, dude, you not the only person in town, the only connect in town. And like he's just so mad that she's not like overly apologetic, and he's just like, "Oh, you can't work in Queens no more, we done." So he's basically like ends things with her, and he don't want to work with her, and threatens if she continues to sell drugs in Queens, it's going to be a problem. So they done with that, but Rock is going to figure out. She always figures stuff out. Like, I just can't stand Stefano, aka Tony Danza. He's like he don't take any accountability. And same, even when she worked with that Asian dude when she was moving work out of his Chinese spot. Like, dude, you working with you knew what it was. Like, you working with this woman, know she sell drugs, and then when shit go wrong, you blame her. Then why you letting a drug dealer into your place? Like, you once you step into that world, it's no turning back. It's like, again, men be thinking like when they work with a woman, they gonna have some type of control. And when they see that they don't, or she don't back down or cower, it's a problem. But you, instead of just thinking you working with another business partner conducting business, it becomes issues because they're assuming that they're going to take control because they're working with a woman. And I don't understand why they don't see how the energy that Rock moves with to know like that's not what's going down. So it's just weird to me. It's like, and it's just the ongoing theme for Rock, unfortunately. Women who carry that type of energy, um, which is their natural energy. And Rock is like, she operates a lot in her dark feminine energy. And again, they really be trying to villainize her, and I just think she is a layered woman, and very ambitious and determined and ruthless. And I just think when women operate that way, um, they're automatically the wicked witch of the west, and people don't really. Uh, that's just what it is. As opposed to if men operate that way, oh, they're ambitious and it is given more positive connotations, or kind of brushed off as that's expected from a man. But when a woman moves like that, it's a problem. So I I feel like it's a blessing that Rock is not working with Stefano anymore, because he just is a crybaby to me. I can't stand him. He gets on my nerves. So we move into the next scene, and they Russo and his driver pull up to the drive-through. He acting weird, and like I thought, he pops out of the car, and bunch of guys come out and shoot Russo up. He's dead. They set him up basically, which I had the feeling. So Russo is done. We know Stefano was behind that, and he got him out of there. So he's dead. So we'll see how that affects Stefano or not, but he got Russo out of here. R.I.P. So next we're back in Kanan's spot, his studio apartment where he be his drug operations little place with his team, and he's basically letting them know like, oh, we gonna link up with Breeze and start working with him. Like I went and talked to him, so that's gonna be the next move. And then boom, the cops come in and tell him put your hands up, and they basically, and then Kanan's looking at him like, what is going on here? Like, why? How y'all knew I was here? How y'all got in here? So he's looking. Everybody got their hands up, and he looking suspicious. So next scene is Marvin. He's still on the hunt for Unique, because word is his bond. He think Unique killed his brother Lou Child, and he stops on the corner, talk to some dudes around the way. He like, oh, you here where Unique at? And he's like, oh, they're like, oh, Unique is on the run. We don't know where he at. And then one of the dudes was like, oh, I heard him and his chick up in Hollis, Hollis, Queens area. And so Marvin give him money like, yo, if y'all let me know, basically like, here's some money. If you hear where he at, is more where that come from. So he continue on his hunt for Unique, because he think Unique killed his brother, and he gotta he gotta send him home to glory, unfortunately. So we go back to Kanan. He with the two cops up in like the old abandoned store. I think Rock used to use as an old storefront. Like I think it was like a beauty salon it used to be, that got burned down, unfortunately, by that's one of the spots I think Unique and his people, when Unique was on one and was mad, I believe heartbroken from Rock. He was just in a bad spot, and he burned down all of Rock's places. So the two cops that Rock used to work with, they they set that up and took him out and was like, we're not here to arrest you. Like I think it's kind of like they did that. I think on Rock's behalf, like, yo, you need to stop working out that apartment. You need to like go to school, get your life together, basically. And of course, Kanan's like, dude, like, fuck y'all. He thinks they the cops, or who killed his best friend Famous, and he's just going on this rant like, oh, y'all killed Famous, and you're about to kill me like y'all killed Famous. And they're looking at him like, and saying like, what are you talking about? We don't know any Famous. Your mom ain't tell us to do that. And then Kanan's looking like, wait, what? I thought, because he just got this whole movie in his head that he think his mom killed Famous and his mother did not kill Famous. But because he don't trust her and don't believe her, he's not trying to hear. And I think even though he was looking like, wait, that didn't happen, he still ain't say nothing. They're just like, yo, if we hear you still, cooking crack and selling out that crib, we gonna arrest you. So they leave out, and then, kind of leave Kanan to his own thoughts, like, that's on you. But now he's like, damn, I can't work out of there no more. So that's kind of where we at with it right now. So now we back with Rock and Marvin. They like in this like look like a basement spot where they got like a whole big amount of cocaine just sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to get rid of it due to their circumstances. And so um Rock is just like we got to figure out how we going to get rid of it, and basically saying like Stefano don't got nothing to do with us no more, and I'm going to figure it out, and you know just trying to figure out what to do because and basically blaming Marvin, which he did. Him, and it's him and Stefano's fault. They trying to do something behind uh, Rock back, and they just backfired and just messed up everything, which is how they do. And Rock is just she's she tried, but she even sees like it was pointless of working with Stefano, and he don't really got power like that. And she's just like, and the Italians, the mafia people are messy, just like everybody else, and they act like they have all these ethics and codes, and they're just as slimy and shady and ruthless as every other group of street people. There's really not that much of a difference, which she's absolutely right. And so she's like, Marvin's just like, well, Stefano's saying we can't work out a clean. She's like, all right, but then he don't got juice. We could work another part of the city. She's like, yo, we gonna work in Manhattan because she like her Colombian dude like connect is hooking up with somebody who she can work with in Manhattan, and they want to use Lou's. They can move, clean the money out of the club that Lou part on with that old white lady. And Mars like, oh my God, Lou's gonna roll in his grave, and she like, yo, we don't got no choice. But I'm like, I think Lou would have been down with it. Lou was he came back to Rock and wanted to be with the shit, so I don't think Lou would have been rolling in his grave. I think Lou would have been he would have moved it out of there, and he would have did it behind that white lady's back. Like I disagree with that. I think Lou would have been down with it. And so, like I said, Rock figured it out. She gonna go meet with this new, um, I guess like another mafia or another boss that work out of Manhattan because yet, she's like it's competitive, but it's a bigger market, so there's room for everybody to come and make money and set up shop. So that's the plan. Um, that's the plan going forward. And so next we have annoying as Detective Garcia going up in this nice brownstone area. Come to find out, he pulling a woman answered the door, and he was like, "That's Juke's girlfriend." Mother answered the door like, "Oh, I'm here to talk about your daughter Aisha." And she's looking like, "Wait, why is a cop here coming to talk about my daughter?" So now he coming to mess with Aisha and probably try to spoof them out or just see what information he can get with Aisha because he's thirsty. And it's just like he is like super super annoying, and all these cops are crooked. So we'll see what happens on his journey of being obsessed of trying to find out who killed crooked as Detective Howard Child. So now we back at the pretty cottage house with Unique and his baby mom. He's getting ready to leave out, and she's just like, he's going to go say bye to his son, and his son kind of like walks away like, dude, you always leaving, child. He's kind of not feeling his father at the moment, unfortunately, and rightfully so. He he feels like his father cares more about the streets than them. So that's only going. He doesn't feel that tied like he care, and so him and his baby mom say goodbye. Unique and his baby mom say goodbye, and then he heading out, and she's just like, call us, keep, let us know how you doing, make sure you safe. When he about to leave, the son runs out and hugs Unique goodbye, and he was surprised. He wasn't expecting that because his son barely talked to him while he was visiting, and he was just, him and his baby mom was overcome with emotion. He, thanked his son. It was a super cute, emotional scene, and again, I think it's starting to hit him that like this is his family. Like, what are you like this needs to be the priority. But yeah, he's still going back out to the street to see he can get himself back on his feet. And holding on to something that is not holding on to him and not good for him. So we shall see how it goes. And then cut to Breeze and his partner. I forget his name. That dark skinned dude. They going in a spot. Breeze is about to meet up to chop it up with his aunt and uncle, Pops and Snap, and Kanan, um, and his partner's just like, oh, can I be a part of the conversation? And he's just like, you have your own work to do. Like, you don't need to be a part of this. And his partner, Bree's partner, just looking like he's getting real jealous of how Breeze is putting his attention on Kanan and he's not feeling it. So I think this is going to be a growing problem because he's looking like, why are you like, why are you so gun ho? Like I think he gets working with his aunt uncle. That's Breeze's family, but he's like, why are you like so gun ho and excited to work with this dude Kanan? Like we don't even know him. Like you just really setting your sights on him. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I feel like his Breeze's partner is gonna be a problem. And so now we back with Marvin and Juke. They at the house eating dinner, and basically Juke is trying to see like have you heard about where Unique is at? And Marvin's just like he's on the run. I can't find him, and basically being like, oh, um, that Unique and Rock used to mess with each other. He's just like, okay, like what you want me to do? Marvin's just like, okay, and like, oh, like you okay with your sister messing with the dude who killed your brother? He's just like, well, what do you want me to do? Like it already happened. That's Rock's business. And he's like, how do you know they messed? He's like, oh, Aunt Rock told me. And like Juke is just trying to basically be like, what are you gonna do about all of this? But it's like, what do you want me to do? These things already happened. He can't find Unique. Unique is on the run. Like, girl, what do you want me to do? Like, Juke is being kind of annoying because they don't know for sure that is Unique. And Marvin needs to be worried about how they're going to get rid of these drugs in the basement and make money. So, but Juke doesn't know that. So we'll see, how it changes the dynamics between Juke and her father. And of course, this is going to put pressure. This is also part of pressure of why Marvin is so gung ho about finding and killing Unique to kind of avenge his brother Lou. So, child, we shall see how it goes. Child, so my bad. When Breeze and his partner was coming up to look like it was in the hospital, he was actually coming to meet up to talk with Stefano, his aunt and uncle, Snap and Pops, and Kanan. So they can officially introduce Breeze and Kanan to Stefano, and Stefano let him know like I'll do business with y'all, but I'm not going to be like active day-to-day operations. Like I want my cut. I'll be a connect, but I'm not going to give you any like supply. I don't have any allegiance or loyalty. If you have problem with somebody else, I'll work with whoever's the winner, basically. So that's what he'll be, an agnostic partner. That's what Stefano say he gonna be. So Snap and Poppy was like, okay, I respect that. What is what it is, and they introduced Breeze and Kanan, and of course, Stefano always want to talk shit, talking about you. When they introduced Breeze, he like, oh, you don't have think of a name like Hurricane or Typhoon. He's like, no, my name is Breeze. I float in, I flow out. Like I'm not on that type of time. Like I just float in, float out, boss. Like basically, like dude, like my name is my name. Like what is this about? And then they introduced Kanan. He's like, oh, I know who he is. I know, he knows that that's Rock's son. And so and then Stefano was like, oh, you working with Unique? And then they like, yeah, he was like, he used to be allied with Russo. And I don't like that basically. Um the aunt is like, yo, like he has a lot of soldiers on the street. Like it's not that we don't want no problems with him. It's not that easy to just kind of work around him. And he's just like, Stephen was like, I beg to differ. He's basically like, I don't know if I can move forward if you working with Unique because I don't really trust him. So that's kind of where they at with it. So now we at a club. Rock goes to like this strip club spot. Goes to this Asian dancer chick. Give her money. Be like, oh, like you know Marvin. I'm Marvin. I work with Marvin. I'm his sister. Whatever. Like I'm a friend of Marvin. So she goes and talks with this girl to try to see how she gonna basically how what's the scene like going on in Manhattan, and basically lets her know about Flossie something Siegel, like whose whose club is it, working with, and who's pimping out there, who's working out there, and basically give this name. And then the Asian girl's like, oh, be careful, like this chick is scary. And Rock is like, I could be scary too, like just let me know who it is and I'll handle it. So she on the hunt to find this other new connect to see how she gonna be moving her drugs through her, that lady's operations basically in Manhattan that work with like call girls and escorts and all that stuff. So Rock is trying to set up stuff, which I knew she was because that's how she get down. She's ambitious and always gonna keep it moving. So that's the plan going forward. So now we back at Breeze's spot. Unique is mad because he like, oh, you went and met with Stefano and y'all didn't let me know like what's going on. And Breeze is just like, calm down. All he was just letting us know was like he not, he want his cut, but he not gonna be, in the day to day stuff basically. And then Unique is like, I know y'all trying to cut me out, and he's just like, nah, like nobody's trying to cut you out, and you need to relax basically, like you don't have other options. You don't have anything else but us. So basically, like you don't got it out here like that no more. And he was like, oh, I got my man. He was like, and they'll fight for me. He like, they'll fight basically who gonna feed them. So don't be thinking they as loyal as you think they are. And basically just like letting, and then Unique looking at him like, oh, okay. This what type of time you on? And then Breeze is just like, oh, don't worry about it. You not cut out. We business partners. Like, don't worry about it. But Unique is looking at him like, like, dude, you done let me know what it is. So now I gotta keep my eye out on you because you talking real crazy. Like, basically, Breeze let him know like you not that dude out here like that no more. So you could talk tough, but you basically need us. So you need to calm all that energy down. So again, I don't know how this Unique and Breeze thing gonna go. So, yeah. And now that Breeze know that Stefano not feeling Unique, he really is like, I think Breeze is like at a place where he could take or leave Unique, so he don't want to hear Unique mouth like that. So we shall see how this goes, child. So now we have Rock meeting the new mafia boss Pino Bernardi in Manhattan. She went to look like he has like some type of um, bar lounge place. She doing introduction, kind of how they gonna do business, and he's saying like, oh, Stefano, I know you work with Stefano in Queens, and he don't speak highly of you, and she was like, I don't speak highly of him either. And he's like, oh, I don't want to go behind Stefano back. She was like, ain't nobody going behind his back. Like, we going to do business right in the open. She was like, I heard you like that. So she working her swag and charm, of course. And he love it, of course. Like, of course. And so they basically talking logistics about everything and what type of cut he gonna get, and basically don't step on anyone's toes or other people who selling in Manhattan. She's like, of course not at all, like there's room out here for everybody. Like, dude, you don't have to give me the lay of the land, like I already know what it is. I'm a professional out here. But of course, that's how they got. She a woman, she a black woman, so they always assume we know less than we actually do. So, but I think as the more he's talking to her, he's just like, oh, okay. And he's like, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to move around these drugs out here. Like, I'm not going to help you. And she's like, I already got something in mind. She's like, you heard of Flossie Siegel. So she's basically letting him know, like, that's the plan. I'm going to link up with Flossie and work with how I'm going to move the drugs over there. So they're kind of working out how they gonna set up business in Manhattan, of course, because Rock is the boss. That's what she do. And then so next we at Lou's Club, and Marvin is like moving boxes in there, and then the older white lady see him and like, what's going on? You moving in? So they sit down at the bar and talk. She like, yo, I already know. Like, I'm old, but I wasn't born yesterday. I know it's like funny business in them boxes. Like, I know how y'all get down in y'all family. And Marvin's just like, yo, we taking over the club. Me and my sister, we gonna buy you out, give you a fair price. But that's basically where we at with it. And she's just like, oh, I see this is like a non-negotiable offer. And Marvin's basically like, like I said, we're gonna give you a fair price. And she's just like, oh, Lou would not like this. And Marvin's just like, yeah, you right. But he gets choked up and like says like Lou is not here anymore. But I disagree with that. Like, again, not Marvin, Lou came back and wanted to be back into the street drug shit with Rock. So I think Lou would have probably, Lou would have ended up doing the same thing. He would have went to buy out the lady. And I think the same thing would have happened if Lou was alive. So I don't agree with that. So that's basically where we at with it, because Marvin and Rock got to figure out how they gonna get money and get themselves back on their feet. So it's not personal. It is what it is. So we'll see what's next. So now we back with Kanan. He at his new operation spot. He's officially up and running. He got his crew working with Breeze's crew to start putting out work out on the street. So he is officially up and running, and he is super happy about that. He's feeling like, stuff is getting off and running for him. And so Unique, when he's about to head out, once he got his people going back out, he got the work for them, they back on the street. So Kanan's heading out, and then Unique comes, he's heading to his car. Unique comes out walking on the sidewalk and yells out like, oh, you can't trust any of them. You can't trust Breeze, Pop, Snap. He calls Stefano little Linguini, which is hilarious. And he's just like, they basically gonna use us as a means to an end. Like, you can't trust them, which I agree with. He's like, they playing both of us. And of course Kanan's like, oh, like, it doesn't seem like that to me. Like, they taking over Queens and Southside basically, and I'm gonna be where it serves me better to work with them basically. Like, I feel good about it. And Unique is just like, you just getting started, you young and just coming in the game. Like, how do you know? You like, which I agree with him. Like, Kanan is very still naive, but when you that young, you think you know everything. When you that age, when you like in your late teens, early 20s, you think you grown and you know everything. So that's where Kanan is at. And what you call it, Unique is just like, why you didn't like say or ask me nothing about your Uncle Lou? Because he was like, people think I did it, and basically you like, you don't have any negative energy towards me. And he's like, because you know I didn't do it. So he starts like, he know their family is a hot mess. Unique know their family is a hot mess. So he starts like going down the list like, oh, did your mom do it? And because she don't give a fuck about people, basically. They always say that about Rock. He's like, did Marvin do it? They have like a brotherly beef with each other. And he like, trust me, I know, because Unique had to put his brother down because his brother came out of prison, was a hater and causing mayhem. And then he like, oh, did you do it? Because you and Lou had a problem because you trying to go off for the family, like basically doing deductive reasoning. Cause he know they family's a mess, and that's what I love about Unique. Like he know how to peep and read shit and read people, you know, pretty well. The only thing he has issue is reading. Like he is like, dude, you're out of this drug business. Like, like you need to leave. That's the only thing he's not reading well, is that he needs to let it go and leave, because it's about to be in a really, everybody's looking for you and don't really feel like you necessary out here. And so we we have Unique going and talking with his dude, and his partner, that fat dude, who was going around helping him look for and helped him find his baby mom. And the dude is like, I think his name is, I forgot that big dude's name, but his partner, they talking about like a pier looking area, and they're like basically saying, he's like, I'm gonna go to Jersey and lay low. It's hot out here. Get the target off my back, rightfully so. And Unique's like, I'm not trying to run away from things. That's not what I do. And he's like, maybe you run into something. Like basically, like, do you have a family? Like, go and get out of here. Leave Queens. Go be with your family, because it's hot out here. Like, it's nothing for us out here anymore. So you need to like read the room and keep it moving, which I totally agree with. And then we have this other parallel story with Breeze and Taz. They went to go pick up some. They clearly have their own little side business of selling prescription drugs. So they in the alley getting it from some type of UPS worker dude, and then they get that drugs and get in the car and heading out to wherever they going. And so Breeze and Taz are in the car, and Breeze kind of talking to him and being like, oh, I know you was the one who told Unique that we met with Stefano, because you was the only one from their crew that knew. And Taz is like, oh, well, I felt like he had a right to know. And Breeze is mad because he like, you trying to start up with trouble because you feel like you getting passed over. He was like, because I am. And he's just like, you're not, basically like, you're not getting passed over, and you're going to cause, you trying to cause drama, but you actually going to cause trouble for yourself. Like, you need, basically like threatening him. He's like, you need to calm down and stop trying to like cause beef, because basically feeling jealous and trying to cause beef between with Unique and Kanan, because he got a problem with Kanan. He does not like, he's like, whatever like relationship is growing with Breeze and Kanan, like Taz cannot stand it. Like, it is burning his biscuit, child. So again, Taz is gonna be a problem, and we gonna see how this goes, child, because I don't think it's gonna go well. It never goes well when a hater enters the room, child. So now we're at the precinct. They got him in a with Garcia. He has Aisha and her parents in an interrogation room, being extra as fuck, trying to act like he is warning or letting them know that Aisha, Laverne, Juke and her family are dangerous, and your daughter's in danger. And what is she and Juke family? They are criminals. And Aisha's father's like, I've been black long enough to not trust everything the police saying, which he's absolutely right. Like, what type of crime is it? He's thinking like, is it jaywalking, littering? Like, my daughter don't be associated with street people, but she actually is. And he's like, no, it's like murder, extortion, drug trafficking, and bring out a picture of Lou and his body. And because before he did that, Aisha's just like, oh, he's been following Juke and bothering her and harassing her. And but once the detective Garcia took out that picture of Lou, she got like real spook, and plus her parents too. So now she's like really shook, like, oh boy, like what is going on? And Juke hasn't let her know anything, rightfully so, because it's none of her business. And Juke keeps everything with her family real close to the chest, rightfully so. So she has no information to offer Garcia in his desperate search. She's just like, his storyline is annoying. Like, he's so desperate. And so that's that with that. And now we back with Marvin. He's still on his hunt for Unique, and he meet up back on the block with those group of dudes who he been giving money to get news out on Unique. And so they let him know, like, his fat partner, Unique's partner dude, is in Jersey. Like he heard like he laying low in Jersey, like how the guy said in his conversation with Bree. So they found out and be like, oh, if his partner there, he probably there. So now Marvin is gonna be. He gave them some more money. He's like, still keep your eye out and to find out where Unique is, because he only found out where his homeboy is in Jersey, not where Unique is, and Marvin wants Unique. So now he gonna go to Jersey and see what's going on out there, as he is like so gun ho about getting to Unique child. So he's back on the hunt. So now we back at Juke's house. She's there with her girlfriend Aisha. Aisha's letting her know that she been at the police precinct talking to Garcia, and him letting her and her parents know, like, you come from a crime family basically, and she's scared. And Juke is listening. She's like, well, what did you tell him? Like, did you say anything to like get them off of you and your family? She's being accusatory and paranoid. And Aisha's just like, I don't know anything. Like, I have nothing to tell him. You haven't told me anything. I don't know anything. And then, of course, Juke immediately like, oh, your parents are right. We should break up, because, that's how Juke is. She keep everything to the vest. She don't want no problems. So she breaks up with Aisha. Aisha feelings is hurt, and she's like, fuck you. So Aisha and Juke is done. All right? So now Rock is meeting up with this Flossie Siegel lady. Um, Clearly Pino introduced them, so she meeting up at Flossie's crib. They sit down and talk about operations. Rock let her know the plans, like, I'm gonna use your call girls to kind of move the work around, sell the drugs to the clients. Not sell, but just they already want the drugs, so it's basically like using that as a front for the girls to kind of be curious for the drugs to all of the high end clients, so they could have the sex and the drugs, basically, like that added business to it, and let her know, that's what she want to do. And then Flossie's just letting her know, like, oh, people have pitched me this idea before, but I didn't really want to work, because it's men. I don't want no problems. Of course, like, um, prostitution is a lesser charge than drug trafficking. And also, I couldn't work with men, because men going to always have their ego and don't want to really work with a woman. They're going to try to flex, and it's going to be a problem. I'm going to basically have to put them down, because they're going to try to take over my business, and I'm not having it. So, but she's like, you're different. Basically trying to take the angle of like, oh, I like work. I'm going to work with you because you're a woman. And I feel like we the same type of chick and energy, and we can make this work, but I'm going to need like a big cut. Like, I'm taking a big risk. And I know that you already having to give Pino a big cut. And then Rock is like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll worry about my money. Don't worry about it. So they gon', officially, they decided to go into business. I don't trust Flossie. I don't. I I think Flossie's no better than these other men, or white men, or any men that she's worked with. I think Flossie's just trying to take an angle with Rock, which is a lot of things that black women have to experience. I think Flossie's playing that, oh, we women and getting money thing, and I think she's going to try to take control over Rock business as well. I just think it's going to go good for a while, and I just think that Flossie, I think her looks similar to Rock. Like, her looks is deceiving. She's way more dangerous than she looks, and I also think that because Rock is a woman, she gonna be able to feel like she gonna overpower her or outsmart her. That's what I think about Flossie. And those who know, because she's a white woman with blonde hair, how whoever, like, I've had a unfortunate career of dealing with women like that in corporate America. And non-black women love to play that woman card, to get you to get your guard down, and you to be black women to be their workhorse. And when they know they can't control you, then that's when problems come. Or they know that you can't overpower you, and they know and see your energy, know you're smart, they know all these things, but they still gonna try. And then what they're assuming is not going to work, then you the issue, right? So I don't know how long this is going to last, but I don't trust Flossie at all. So we shall see how this goes. So now we move on to Mr. Marvin. He done found Unique's chubby friend who's now out in Jersey. And of course, like Marvin's style, he kills this dude, but he wanted to find out from this dude where Unique is at. But the dude and his crew in the bar shoot at Marvin, but Marvin shoots all of them. And so we see a scene from outside of Marvin shooting this dude. So I don't know if he got this information. So we shall see if Marvin got the information he needs to continue on his quest to kill Unique, child. He is on a rampage, child. So now we see Juke waiting outside on like a residential block, like at night, and we see Detective Garcia come out this car. She ducking behind cars. She looking like she trying to hurt him or shoot him or something. And he goes and knocks on up to a house, and the door out comes like his pregnant chick and some kids, his family. Um, so now we see like Garcia got his own family and shit to lose. So now we seeing that Juke is like keeping looking at him and surveilling what he got going on. Cause she's like, dude, you trying to blow up my life? You basically fucked up my relationship. So like now Juke is on the alert with this guy Garcia. So we'll see how this goes, cause that's not gonna go well either. So now we in the car with in Breeze's car, Breeze and Kanan. They talking. They outside of Breeze's not Breeze unique spot in like Hollis, Queens. So he's saying like, oh, I paid off the super to his building. They basically about to go and bum rush and go up and thinking Unique is there, and they gonna kill him because they trying to cut him out. They don't feel like they need him, and Stefano is not gonna work with them unless Unique is out of the situation. So they got Breeze and Kanan gonna go kill him, but they went put on ski masks, sneaked up in there, walking in the dark. Unique is nobody's there to be found at all, and they looking around like, where is this dude? Cut to clearly Marvin is driving in the woods. Clearly he found out from Unique's chubby friend where he was hiding out at like his baby mom. So he went to that pretty college house in the woods. He pulling up in there, see the lights on. My stomach's in bubble guts. I'm like, oh my God, Marvin about to come in there and kill his damn family. I was like, I don't know who's there. This is gonna be a mess. So Marvin's going around with his gun out looking for Unique or whoever there. It looked like all the lights on, TV on, everything's on, nobody's there. Cut to child, Mr. Unique is in the car with his family, with his baby mom and his son. My baby Unique got away. He finally listened to his baby mom. And his baby mom like, oh my God, we left all our shit there. We just ran out. He like, fuck all that shit. She was like, so we not coming back to New York. He like, fuck New York. We leaving New York. We starting over. Thank goodness. Finally, Unique is like, I think he read the room. He probably found out that dude got killed, or maybe not. He probably just read the room and realized like, I gotta get out of here because this is not gonna end well for me. There's nothing here for me. So I'm super happy because Unique been through a lot, and he finally ran to what wants him, and which is his family and needs him, and he can be whatever he want to be. So I'm so happy that Unique got away and they did not get to him, and that drama with Lou and how he died, and even the drug game in Queens, they can all fight it out amongst themselves, child, and we'll see how it goes. Like, I don't blame him, so I'm super happy about that. But that is episode 2 of season 5, Raising Kanan, my favorite power show, like I always say. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you like my reviews, please feel free to like and subscribe because this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm super new to YouTube, so I'm going to be reviewing all the different streaming shows, TV shows, documentaries, movies. I am a lover of all TV and film. Um, Theater, I'm just a artsy girl, Jersey girl. So this is gonna be me and my journey. So hope you like my content, and thank you so much for watching.